Welcome to a new episode of the Radiant Woman podcast. I'm Georgiana, and today I want to share with you some aspects and insights about the fact that you are unique. Comparing yourself to others doesn't serve you. I pick up this topic because some of you suggested that you wanted me to speak about it. Let's take it step by step. We are really unique. If we think even on the physical level, there are no two people who have the same fingerprints, the same DNA, the same body shape exactly. Even identical twins are not exactly identical. On the subtle level, we are even, the situation is even more complex. We really are completely unique. We have different life experiences. So every life experience we have ever had, and I'm speaking about this life only, I will not mention anything else, is making us completely unique. Every time we have the tendency to compare ourselves to others, it doesn't serve us, because we cannot compare two people who are completely unique in themselves. One attitude which is much more constructive and which helps us much more is to compare ourselves to whom we were, for example, yesterday. And today we can ask ourselves, am I more compassionate? Am I loving more today? Am I calmer today? So by comparing ourselves with ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to others, we will actually do ourselves a great service. All right, what happens when we compare ourselves to others? Because in today's society, we're actually taught to compete, to compare, to strive to be better than somebody else. All right, what does that do to us? First of all, there will be always people who are better than us at something, and there will always be people who are worse than us at something. For example, I consider myself to be a holistic spiritual teacher. I am well aware that there are out there other spiritual teachers who are way better than myself. And in the same time, I am aware that there are out there other spiritual teachers who are not right now as good as I am. Does it help me? It doesn't. But if I compare myself to myself, who I was as a spiritual teacher for 1 year ago, for 6 months ago, for 1 week ago, it will actually encourage me to become better and better, because I want to serve you. I want to offer you the best I actually can offer you right now. So when I compare myself to myself from yesterday, from 1 week ago, from 6 months ago, I can notice if there is any progress with me. If I compare myself, for example, I take it as an example to Joe Dispenza. I don't have as many followers as him. I don't have as many money as him. I'm not as successful as him. It will depress me. Does it serve me? Absolutely no. So the first act of self-love we can do is realize that we are really unique. So we can do it even as I call it the morning ritual. When we wake up, before we have the tendency to put into this day all my past and everything that I have experienced. And if I was unhappy yesterday, I will have the tendency to continue to be unhappy today. Let it be. Blank slate. Today we wake up, and the first thing we do before we start doing the usual stuff, before we pick up the mobile phone and whatever else we do in the morning, just take a few moments in which you relax. You focus yourself in your spiritual heart, and you connect yourself to your feminine soul. And take a moment to acknowledge and become aware of your innate qualities, which which make you unique. Pay attention, for example, pay attention if you feel and you are aware that you are a kind woman with sense of humor, with warmth of heart, with intelligence, with a spirit of sacrifice. You are sensual. Whatever qualities you are aware that you have, bring them up, connect yourself to them, and become aware that you are unique. You have a unique role to play in this world. It's like the notes inside of you, they are combined in a completely unique way. So let's say your symphony is unique to you. Nobody else can play the same music as you. Nobody else can love as you do. Nobody else can manifest in this world what you are here to manifest. So it is much more positive, beneficial, and constructive to have this very healthy attitude. Stop comparing yourself to others. Because when you compare yourself to others, as I said, you will always find somebody who is better than you, more beautiful than you, something more than you. And it doesn't serve you. You cannot be like that person. One thing that if you really need to compare yourselves to others, is to use somebody else's, for example, for me it's very important, the self-development, the self-growth. So for me, if I see somebody else who is more evolved than me, who is more advanced on this self-growth path than me, I will not compare myself to them. I will not make this mistake. Instead, I will let myself be inspired by the level that they reached and think like this. If they were able to, I can also do it. If somebody else was able to achieve a certain level of self-growth, self-development, transformation, evolution, call it whatever you want, I can also do that. So I let myself be inspired by somebody else's success or somebody else's higher level or whatever, however you want to look at it. But I will not compare myself to them in this manner that, she is more evolved than me. What to do now? Instead, I let myself be inspired, and I do it even as I call it the admiration technique. So whenever I meet somebody who inspires me, I will look at what qualities can I admire in this person, in this woman, and I will let myself be infused with that woman's qualities. I even make it as a very sweet and very uplifting and enriching process in which I pay attention to whatever qualities she has. And I did this with women that I had no clue about them. I didn't know them. I didn't know anything about them. But I opened my soul. I let them come into my inner world and feel them. And then I was able to feel that they are kind, good friends, intelligent, whatever qualities I could sense in them. And I even did it in my groups. I did it as a practice with the women in the groups that I lead, in which women who precisely just come together in a group, didn't know each other. We did it as an exercise, as a technique, to admire each other and then to tell the other one what we admire in them. And when we did that, the women that we admired and told them, I feel this in you, I sense this in you, and so on, they were amazed. They said, but how come that you know me so well? I don't know you, but I simply allowed my soul to be infused with your uniqueness, with the qualities that you radiate, even if you don't do it on purpose. I don't go around and think I'm so sexy and intelligent and whatever, but they are a part of me. So of course that I emanate them because they are a part of me. So whenever we have this attitude of comparing ourselves with ourselves, from yesterday, from the week before, we actually do ourselves a great service, because all the time we notice, did I make any progress? One aspect that for me is very important is how I handle my emotions, how I manage my emotional states. And I can proudly tell myself that today I'm so much better at handling my emotional states and managing my emotional states and having the so-called emotional mastery compared with myself 1 year ago or 6 months ago. And if I think a little bit longer back in time, I can honestly say that situations or relations that I have in my life today, which are which are a little bit difficult, not a bit, they are difficult. If I would have been me for 1 year or 2 years ago, these situations and this relationship would have broken me. Today, they don't. Why? Because every single day I compare myself with me from yesterday or from 1 week ago and adjust myself, adjust my inner abilities and qualities and emotional muscles and mental muscles, so that I can be a little bit better today and a little bit better tomorrow and a little bit better and so on. So I am learning all the time. I'm in a process of continuous learning, which helps me continuously transform, which makes me better. And this is the purpose of each and every one of us life. We are here to really discover who we really are and manifest that greatness and that brilliance to the best of our abilities. We need to cleanse a little bit things that are not serving us. So one aspect that we can definitely be absolutely sure it doesn't serve us is comparing ourselves to others. It will never serve us, because I am me, completely unique. You are you, completely unique. I can learn from you, definitely. I can do that every single day. But comparing myself to you doesn't serve me, doesn't serve you. And this is also, sometimes we have the tendency to compare ourselves in a negative manner. A little bit of envy involved there, especially when we don't like somebody. I told you about the admiration technique, in which you open your soul and you admire another human being with all the qualities and all the uniqueness that person possesses. And when you do this admiration, you open your heart, you are opening your soul. Because you admire, you infuse energy in the other person. So you offer the other person your admiration. And because you admire, you start assimilating those qualities in yourself effortlessly. So it's a very nice way to learn from others and assimilate from others specific qualities that maybe right now you don't have them or not that well manifested. So when we do the admiration technique, we create a subtle circle from heart to heart, in which we assimilate from the other woman, in our example, beautiful qualities, and in the same time we enhance those qualities in the woman just because we admire them. Somehow it's the same mechanism from a certain point of view when we compare ourselves and we envy somebody else. But because we envy and we compare, the other one has the same qualities, but because I envy, I close my heart. I don't send any type of energy to the other person, and I don't assimilate anything from the other one. Though I am me, she is she, with her qualities. So when we compare ourselves to others, we block ourselves, we close ourselves, we don't allow this wonderful exchange of subtle energy and information to come in. And whenever we admire somebody else and we allow ourselves to take in and in the same time to shine our brilliance, we shift also some mental patterns and even neurological paths in our brain. So simply we reprogram ourselves to become richer and richer every time we do this. So do yourself a big favor. Realize, first of all, that you are unique and you have something which is very beautiful to share with the world. And also realize that every other single person is unique. So comparing yourself to anyone else but you doesn't serve you, doesn't serve your inner growth, doesn't serve your state of mind, it doesn't serve you in any manner. Let it be. Let go. Don't do that anymore. Instead, appreciate what you have unique, manifest it as much as you can, and compare yourself with you every single day, with you from the past days, from the past weeks, and see how much you progress every single day. In this way, you will become richer and richer, better and better, more and more happier and happier, more and more content with your life, with who you are, with what you have to do in this world, with what you can offer others. It will be a wonderful life for you to live. If you feel inspired, please comment, share, invite other women to watch. And until next week for our Facebook Live, I wish you a wonderful day. I wish you a wonderful week. And if you felt inspired, please do these 2 techniques that I mentioned. The morning ritual, in which you realize every single day your uniqueness and start manifesting it and radiating it. And the admiration technique. Every time you have the tendency to compare yourself to others, instead stop and start admiring them and see how much you can learn from them, even if you don't say a word to them. You don't have to go forward to them and say, I admire you for this quality and this ability and so on. You don't have to say a word. You just do it in yourself. You admire and you'll see how much you enrich yourself. I wish you all the best. I send you my love and have a wonderful evening. Bye.